Hi, my name's Cecilia Poullain, and welcome to this episode of Brave New Women. All around the world, there are amazing, ordinary women doing extraordinary things. Brave New Women is about giving those women a platform and a voice, and it's about changing the way that women are perceived. And it's a way of inspiring all of us to do the things that we've always wanted to do. This is a second in a mini-series of women in conservation in Latin America. I'm so grateful to Erin Hicks of the Center for Protected Area Management at Colorado State University for organizing the interviews, and to both Erin and Maria Cristina Silva for doing the translations. And today I'm talking to Rebeca Gonzalez. Rebeca is Mexican. She's a biologist by profession, and she works in the Secretary of the Environment and Territorial Development of the Government of the State of Jalisco in the General Coordination of Fire Management. The State of Jalisco is on the west coast of Mexico, directly west of Mexico City. So welcome, Rebeca. Rebeca, you trained as a biologist, but you work in fire management now. How did you get into fire management?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Un placer estar
Hi,
con
how are
ustedes
you? Thank you so
y
much
poder
for the
contribuir
invitation.
a
It's so
su-
great to be here
pues a
with
su
you.
proyecto. Muchas gracias por la invitación. Pues mira, te platico.
I'm going to tell you about
Hace 13
13 years
años que
ago,
fue
I
que yo
started
me
working in
inicié en el
wildland
programa de incendios forestales.
firefighter management.
Fue de una forma no planeada. Simplemente yo
So it really
deseaba
wasn't
estar en
planned. It
el
was just really
programa
out of curiosity.
por
I
ver
wanted
la
to see
forma
how these
en
programs
que
were
se
managed and
trabajaba
how
y el
we
cómo
could directly
contribuyes
solve
de
problems
forma
caused
directa
by
en prevenir
human
un
beings or
problema causado por la
yeah.
sociedad o por nosotros los humanos. Sí, y pues bueno, más que nada el pensar que podría
So it really
contribuir
just
de
was
forma
out of an
directa
interest to really want to
a
figure out a
ayudar a
way to
mitigar ese
help
problema que es
solve this
causado
problem
directamente en
that
los
is
bosques,
primarily
ya que los
affecting
incendios forestales
these wildland
es
fires
donde
primarily affect
afectan
forest
principalmente
ecosystems.
los
And
ecosistemas
how could
en bosques,
I
selvas,
directly
dependiendo el
contribute to
ecosistema, pero que
reducing
causan un
fires
gran
in these
daño
forest
la mayoría de
ecosystems?
las veces a esta vegetación.
How big a problem are fires in the state that you work in Mexico?
Pues bien, aquí en el país y
In her
principalmente
state
lo que viene
and
siendo
really
la
everywhere, but
estadística de aquí de
the
mi propio
primary
estado, que es
cause of
Jalisco,
these forest
nos
fires
damos
is
cuenta que los
human
incendios
cause.
forestales en
Humans
la
are the
mayoría de
direct
las veces son
cause of these
originados
fires.
por causas humanas. Y pues bueno, estadísticamente vemos que del total de los incendios que se registran aquí en
And
el
so
estado,
statistically,
el
98% of these
98%
fires are
es a
started by
causa
human
de
beings, and
actividades
it's
que tienen
really
que ver con el hombre. Y
the
bueno,
problem is really caused by how
mucho de
people
ello
work
es a
in the
causa de
rural
las
areas,
costumbres
in
que se
the
tienen
farming
en la forma de
villages.
trabajar el campo.
What are the particular practices? What are they doing that are causing the fires?
Sí, mira, aquí en México todavía se tiene la costumbre de utilizar el fuego para poder
In
preparar
Mexico,
la
we still
tierra
have
para la
the
siembra.
custom
Entonces,
of
antes del
preparing
temporal
our
de lluvias,
farmland by
los
first
campesinos
removing all
preparan
of the
la tierra,
vegetation with
preparan el
fire.
campo,
Usually before
prendiendo
the rainy
para que
season, all of the
todos
farmers
los
will go
rastros,
out and
todo el
start to burn their
residuo
fields in
se
order to
elimine
prepare for
y
the new
entonces
planting
ellos poder
season.
tener la tierra lista y poder sembrar.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces prenden fuego. Y entonces, como son
And
áreas que están muy
so,
cercanas
because a lot
muchas
of these
veces a áreas
farmlands are near
forestales,
forested
el no
areas, and
tener
the
una adecuada
farmers
preparación de
burn
sus
their
terrenos
farmland
provoca
in order
que
to
ese
prepare for
incendio o esa
the
quema que
growing
ellos
season.
realizan
Those fires
pase
often
a lo que
escape
viene
and
siendo
enter
áreas
into the
forestales y es
forested
ahí donde se
areas.
originan los incendios forestales.
And what could farmers be doing better?
Bueno, en la institución donde estoy, lo que hemos implementado como medida últimamente es el poder programar con estas personas que se
So
dedican a la
what we
preparación de
do
la
as the
tierra para
Secretary of
cultivos,
Environment
tener
is
una
that we work with the
programación de
farmers and we
fechas
help them schedule
donde
their
se les
burns
dé
so
a
that they're not
ellos
all
la
at once,
oportunidad de tener
and we
una
offer
asesoría en
support.
caso de que ellos lo
We
requieran
put our own
y poder
personnel there
programar
to monitor the
su
situation.
día
So
para
if
que
a
ellos
fire
realicen esta
escapes, we're
actividad
able to be
y
able to
no se
respond right away and
cruce
control
con
it.
varias o
And also it'll be more
simultáneas
manageable because not
quemas que
everyone is burning
realizan
at
los
the same time. So
campesinos
we try
y
to
entonces en caso de que se
help
salga de
local
control su
communities and their
quema,
farmers
el
schedule
poder
things
atender
out
a tiempo y que no
and
sean
better
varias
monitor the situation.
quemas las que haya en el mismo día y que finalmente no se pueda atender y entonces provoque lo que nos causa los incendios forestales.
And Rebecca, what does your job look like day to day?
Mira, las actividades que yo realizo por lo general es estar en,
So she's in the
pues
office
en una
and she's
institución, en la
the
oficina
essentially
y
like a
estar
coordinator of
atendiendo los
communication.
diferentes
She helps
requerimientos de lo que es el
organize the
programa
statistics, the
de manejo
fire
del fuego.
management
Pero en
statistics, and
particular,
communicate
la asignación que tengo
those
ahorita
statistics
es
to
la de
the
ser enlace
public and to
de
communities,
comunicación
and
de lo que
essentially
es el
is
programa
in
y
charge of
poder
communication.
proporcionar la información que se genera precisamente de los incendios forestales, mantener informado a lo que es el equipo directivo, tanto interno como externo. Esta es una de las actividades que tengo. Esto es lo que principalmente se hace.
So during the critical time when the fire season's hot,
crítica de incendios
high,
forestales.
I work primarily in communication,
tenemos varias etapas
but also
donde también
after the heavy fire season, I'll work in training in capacity building to help other people gain skills as firefighters.
De incendios.
Mm-hmm.
Bueno, y también, bueno, finalmente, otra parte de las asignaciones o actividades que tengo es también el poder
And her
proponer,
other role is that she works to help integrate women brigades into the program and get more women aboard to become firefighters, and she also, so that there are diverse crews of firefighters that support fighting these fires.
Proyectos donde se puedan integrar al programa de incendios forestales. Y pues bueno, seguimos trabajando en este proyecto con la integración de brigadas de mujeres al programa de manejo del fuego.
Rebecca, tell me more about these women's brigades.
Bueno, mira, aquí en lo que viene siendo el estado de Jalisco, no se
So before, the state of Jalisco didn't even have any women firefighters. They really considered that men were more appropriate for this job that was really difficult. It required a lot of strength and endurance.
Ruda, ser una actividad difícil y hasta cierto punto riesgosa. Y pues bueno, el ver, bueno, más que nada, el participar yo en un programa de incendios forestales.
And so when I became a firefighter and realized really the value of the work and that women can be firefighters, I thought it was really important to be able to bring women on as firefighters, not eventually, but right now, that we needed women firefighting crews. And so that's what I've been working towards.
La de un hombre, y de ahí fue que surgió la idea de poder proponer este proyecto.
Were you the first woman firefighter in your state?
No, de hecho,
I was not the first. There were some other women that have been firefighters, but to really put effort towards following through and ensuring that we are trying to recruit women and create women firefighter brigades. This effort was something that was started so that we could ensure that there are more and more women firefighters and not just something that happens by chance that someone joins. And so that's, even though there's still very little women firefighters, that's what we're working on.
And do women find it more difficult to be firefighters?
Obviamente, el ser mujer representa a lo mejor el pensar que tenemos menos fuerza o menos capacidad.
The work of being a wildland firefighter is really difficult, and it requires a lot of physical strength. And at the beginning, it can seem like it's too much for a woman to do. But if you go about, if each woman goes about training and doing physical conditioning, little by little, you realize your ability and power to be able to do this difficult work.
Esas capacidades y esas condiciones para poder realizar este trabajo, que en realidad sí es un trabajo difícil.
Mm. And so there's a brigade of just women, is there?
Sí, esta brigada inició como un proyecto en el 2019 y desde entonces a la fecha esa brigada continúa. Obviamente esta brigada que se formó.
So yes, we have one women's brigade, and it started in 2019, so almost 2 years in existence now. We started off with 12 women and now have around 14 or 15 women, and it is the first brigade that's officially part of the state, so we don't have to worry about not being able to contract women after a fire season, that this brigade is permanent and it'll be around, and has allowed women firefighters to join the ranks.
And do women firefighters bring something different to the job from the men?
Bueno, como mujeres, a lo mejor
And so as women, I really believe that we have a lot of persistence and that we are accustomed to overcoming really difficult challenges and really pushing to achieve what we set out our minds to do. So I really think that as women, we have this persistence to do something very difficult and see it through. And so that's something that really contributes to becoming a woman firefighter.
And Rebecca, in your career, has it made a difference being a woman?
A lo mejor persiste, no sé, esa idea precisamente de...
So how I've experienced it is, it is really difficult because it's a male-dominated profession to become a women firefighter, and you work so hard. At some point, you do become accepted as part of the crew. You're seen as being able to do the equal work. But once you, and this isn't just in the field, but also in the office, once you identify yourself as wanting to contribute more or maybe make decisions, that's sometimes where some of the conflict comes from, is trying to move up into the ranks. And that's been more of my experience in being a woman in this field.
Y pues estabas ahí a lo que ellos dijeran o simplemente atendiendo instrucciones. Pero llega un momento que como mujer quieres aportar más y pues tienes a lo mejor ya esas herramientas más sólidas y es como cuando les causa ese ruido de decir, tú estabas para recibir y no para aportar o ser parte de quién da soluciones o quién va a contribuir. Entonces, de forma profesional es como lo veo. Quizás por celos, competencia profesional, pero desde mi ámbito es la forma en que lo veo.
So you found it difficult to be the one to move into a position where you're the one making the decisions?
Pues se puede decir que sí te enfrentas a esas situaciones.
It is very difficult to come across these ideas that women can't do it, or just these challenges from a predominantly male career. And unfortunately, in Mexico, this is still very part of the culture to have these sexist views. But you go about, you continue to train, you continue to improve your abilities, and it's something we have to deal with, but it's something that we push through because we continue to be able to contribute to the problem, to be able to grow our skills and really achieve or go where we want to go.
Más fuerzas para seguir adelante.
And Rebecca, what is it in you that makes you want to push through and to have more women firefighters and to be the one making the decisions?
Pues yo creo que es el que te guste.
For me, it's really just a work of love. I love this work. And so if you really love something, you're going to really work for it and push through all challenges and difficulties. So even if there are people telling me that I can't, I have continued to train and continue to improve my skill set and push through those challenges. And it's really the love that drives me to do what I do.
Lo ves de una forma que tienes que superarlo y que tienes que dejarlo atrás y seguir trabajando para mejorar y obviamente, pues de esas situaciones agarrar esos aspectos que sí, tienes que aprovechar esos comentarios que te digan o esas situaciones que vivas y saber que de ahí vas a adquirir el mejor conocimiento para seguir haciendo eso que te gusta.
And what do you love the most about your job?
Mira, algo que me fascina y que me emociona y que yo quisiera
so first and foremost, I just love working outside. I love the forests and I just my work contributes to conserving and saving the forest ecosystems and allows other people to be outside and to enjoy what I love as well. And then secondly, I also really like supporting others to achieve their goals and to get into firefighting, my colleagues, and help them achieve something that sometimes I don't even think is possible.
Pues no solamente para mí, sino para mis compañeros, el poder convivir con ellos, el poder aportarles e incluso el contribuir para que ellos, desde su forma de trabajar, quieran superarse y lograr esas metas que en algún momento pensaron y que por cierta situación la tienen ahí frenada, pero que necesitan algo que los motive para poder hacer eso que ellos quieren.
And Rebecca, what's the most difficult thing in your job?
Bueno, como difícil.
One of the parts that is most difficult is, as a woman firefighter, is convincing myself and convincing others that it is something that I can do. And sometimes when you propose a project and it doesn't work out as you hope, that's really frustrating. It's also very
Entonces,
just disempowering. It becomes challenging to convince yourself, like, I should keep on doing this. But once, on the other hand, once I propose something and it works very well, that's very exciting. But there is that challenge to convince others and sometimes convince myself that the projects that I propose are of value and that they will work and just building the skills and confidence to do that.
Una institución en la que debes de aportar para que puedan ser considerados y no queden solamente en documentos y que puedan realizarse. Y pues bueno, esa es la parte difícil, el poder convencer y el poder tener o contar con el apoyo de tu institución, de tus directivos, para poder realizar eso que tú deseas llevar a cabo.
And Rebecca, I wanted to ask you about the you were part of the Fulton Hot Shot Type 1 brigade in the Sequoia camp in California. Tell me about that.
Uh-huh. Pues mira, definitivamente yo creo que esa experiencia me cambió la vida.
First and foremost, this experience changed my life. It taught me that I can work at the level of the hot shots, which is the top level of firefighting brigades. They're the most trained. And I learned that I have the capability myself to work as a hot shot.
Primero, por decir que tú puedes hacerlo y puedes llegar a tener ese nivel de una brigada como son los hot shot. También que podía aprender porque
and second,
actitud
I learned that I could learn how to do this, that I could acquire all of these skills and knowledge and not only learn how to do it myself, but that I could teach others how to do it and bring it to Jalisco and train other people to have the same skills as the hot shots.
Y poder proponerlo. Aprendí también que, pues bueno, se necesita no solamente el querer.
Thirdly, I learned that you just, to want to do this is important. You need the physical and mental strength and conditioning. And you have to have the attitude as well, positive attitude that really helps you to push through the difficult challenges that this type of work and the training with the hot shots presented me. But with that positive mental attitude to push through, you're not only able to become a hot shot and be able to do the work, but also bring the work back home to my home state and propose projects and things that I learned in California, I was able to bring back and propose and benefit the forests of my home state.
En ese sentido. Bueno, y finalmente, pues es una combinación entre
So really it was an experience of putting my mind to it, learning what I needed to do, learning the skills, overcoming the challenges, and really just enjoying the forest and the place that I was in and the opportunity to live with other people and learn about them and really appreciate this unique experience that I had with the hot shots.
Sobre todo el haber disfrutado de esos ambientes en los que como alguien que le interesa o que le gusta estar al aire libre en el bosque, tuvo la oportunidad de vivirlo, de conocer, de disfrutar y vivir en esa calma de los bosques.
Mm-hmm. So Rebecca, you're one of the best firefighters in the world.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Rebecca, as we bring this to a close, is there anything that you would like to say to the people who are listening, a message, anything you need, anything we haven't spoken about, anything at all?
Pues mira, voy a aprovechar.
Sí. So I'm really going to take advantage of this opportunity and first and foremost opportunities like this with the podcast or how I knew Erin through a training program at Colorado State University or through opportunities where I've trained in Canada as well has really allowed me to dream big and accomplish my dreams.
Con Canadá en despliegues que se hacen. Y entonces el darme cuenta que dentro del rol que juegas dentro de tu institución, vas teniendo sueños que quieres llegar a cumplir y hasta cierta forma los he ido cumpliendo, los he ido realizando a través del trabajo. Pero me gustaría, entonces, igual.
So my dream is really that other women can also do like I did, be able to have these opportunities to get the training through other organizations, be it through U.S. Forest Service or through places like Colorado State University, and be able to come back and be able to implement projects as well. My dream really is to ensure, especially women in Jalisco, that they can follow that same path and be able to realize their own dreams.
A través de la Universidad de Colorado, a través de estos proyectos. Y pues bueno, también
and so really it's for all men and women firefighters to be able to have access to these trainings, these top-notch trainings, because the fires that we fight have become even more and more difficult. Through climate change, and so we need to be highly trained and highly skilled, and my dream is really that everyone has access to these top-notch trainings so that they can come back to my state of Jalisco and be able to fight the fires and challenges that we encounter that have been each year becoming more and more complex.
Y pues bueno, sí, el poder más que nada también demostrar
really just providing an opportunity for my colleagues to be able to learn from diverse perspectives. Programs like this podcast and the trainings really allow us to not only learn skills, but to understand from different points of view about our world that we live in, other people that are doing valiant work, and also other firefighters, so that we could have a good panoramic view of
Pero no solamente guardarte ese conocimiento, sino irlo transmitiendo y así generar esa cadenita
so that we can have a good panoramic view just of the world that we live in. And it's not only just to learn, but to be inspired to continue to learn, to continue to connect.
Ok, y bueno, finalmente, pues el estar conscientes que...
And finally, what I've learned is... just so important is our support from your supervisors, from your institution, from your mentors. And I really have to thank my organization, my supervisors and my mentors that have really helped me find my path and help me become a woman firefighter and achieve what I've achieved. And it's just really so important for everyone to find that support and to be able, in order to be able, whether they're men or women, it doesn't matter. There's not like there's one good side or one bad side. We're all working towards the same thing and we all need support. So in any way that someone can support another person coming up in their career is really important.
Pero siempre contando más que nada con ese apoyo que nos den o nos impulsen nuestros jefes, nuestros directivos, nuestros mentores, y que pues es una gran aportación el que ellos nos puedan dar.
Well, Rebecca, it's been a privilege to meet you and to speak to you, to speak to one of the best firefighters in the world. And I think what you're doing in terms of firefighting, what you're doing in terms of women's rights is extraordinary. And I'm really struck by what you said about women being able to do whatever they put their minds to if they're physically strong and if they've got the mental capacity. And thank you very much for your time.
Al contrario,
thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate the opportunity to share about my story and the story of women firefighters and firefighters in general in Jalisco.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Brave New Women. Certain podcast sites such as Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or Podchaser let you leave a rating and a review. The more ratings and reviews we get, the more people will listen and the more these women's stories will be shared. So I'd really appreciate it if you could. Thanks for listening.